It was after dark, and I don't know which came first, to be honest, at this stage, if it was the feeling like there was something wrong or the smell, because I remember catching a smell, and it was like a wall, and it was like wet dog, sulfury, rot. Definitely, and I had smelled skunks before. I'd smelled, we had a lot of deer, so a lot of roadkill deer, a lot of roadkill raccoons and possums. This was something, another level of smell that unlike anything I'd ever smelled before. I just remember it being like really quiet. Something in me triggered with that smell, with that fear. After how long, I don't know, maybe probably 5-10 seconds, felt like 30 or more. I pulled the trigger on this toy gun and it went. And in the silence, something to my right sounded like at that time in my brain, I thought it was a truck just falling down that hill and busting tree branches and boom, boom, boom. And I was frozen for a moment. And then I remember walking forward to look down because it was summer, so the stars were out. There must have been some amount of moonlight. I don't remember seeing the moon, but I remember looking down and being able to see the creek, light on the creek, and I saw this thing step out. And I couldn't make out a face. It was a silhouette, but it was the biggest human-like thing I'd ever seen. I could tell that it was hairy. I could tell that it wasn't a bear. The shoulders, it had like no neck. It was just a little bit of a head and these broad shoulders, and it walked. And it took a step, and then I heard it going up the other bank. By the second or third noise of either a foot or a hand going in, it just felt like whatever it was might come down there. And the next day, I would go out there with the dairy farmer that had the farm in between where it happened and our property, and have him walk with me to show him what I'd found. In that moment, he says, "Don't worry about this." We found footprints. We found toe prints on one side of the bank, heel print on the other, and then these gouge marks. And on the side that I heard all the crashing on, there were a bunch of, some trees completely busted down, others it was just branches. It sounded like there shouldn't be a tree there, but there were trees there, but most of it was broken branches, but there were a couple of smaller trees that were just completely knocked over. So he witnessed this with me, and he made me promise. He said, "I'll take care of this, but you got to promise me you'll never talk about this to anybody." He says, "Can you promise me that?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And I didn't. I never told anybody